Well, this morning's guest speaker is a thought leader who's enabled organisations around the world to deliver real competitive advantage through innovation. As an adjunct professor at UTS Business School and associate at Macquarie Graduate School of Management and Melbourne Business School, this innovation comes from the unique combination of research, case studies, collaboration, and working directly with the leaders of companies large and small, such as Coca-Cola Amatil, Dulux, and Melbourne Water. With his breakthrough presentation, Work Different, How to Succeed in a Rapidly Changing World, exploring why some organisations succeed where others languish, and what successful leaders, managers and teams do that is different, we're about to discover the 4 areas that differentiate high-performing and successful organisations. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please join me in welcoming the founder and executive director of the Hargraves Institute, Mr. Allan.
My conversation today is about work different, how to succeed in a rapidly changing world. My objective, though, is that if a picture is worth 1,000 words, then an insight is worth 1,000 pictures. My objective today is for you to leave here with an insight, and the change element of being more successful is, A, you love your company, you love your work, but you have to change it. You have to make a difference. A lovely saying is that Albert Einstein last century said, the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. In this century, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting the same result. Because the world is moving around you. And unless you change, what you did yesterday won't get you to what you're doing today. Innovation is very simple. Implementing ideas that add value. If you want to invent stuff, that's fine. If you want to be entrepreneurial, that's fine. If you want to be ingenious, that's fine. My definition is implementing ideas that add value. Where they come from, how you get them, how big they are, how small they are, I don't really care. As long as they make a difference to your business, as long as they make a difference to your life, that's innovation. Definition of the process is straightforward. It's people with insights, generate ideas and do stuff. And the delta, which I use for change, is that process. And innovation's as simple as that. The most important card in the deck is the first one. 3 rules of innovation. People, people, people. There's only one place in the world where you can generate an idea. Where's that? Quick as a flash? People. The next most important card. Please, quick as a flash, who's got the answer? I'm waiting. People's first. Which one's second?
Insight.
Keep going. Action. Unless you do something, it ain't innovative. You can have all the ideas in the world, you can have all the insights in the world. Unless you do something, it's not innovation, because you can't make value unless you do that. So I believe individuals are first, action second, last 2 cards. Which is the next important in the list? Insight. You've got to know what your customer wants. You've got to know what the industry's doing. Then you generate the ideas. When someone says to you, hey, I've got an idea, what's the first thing you say? What's the insight behind the idea? Hey, I've got an idea, what's the first thing you say? And what are you going to do about it? Ideas are easy. Insights and action are hard. And what you find is that in an organisation, there are individuals, teams and a business organisation. There are people who can see, think and do. That's the people side of innovation. Seeing, thinking and doing. Your job today to come to this breakfast and get out of bed really, really early is to meet somebody and ask them a question and learn something different. It's a seeing activity today. You're trying to see your future through somebody else and steal from someone else. I'm the most innovative guy in this room because I meet a lot of people and steal their ideas. You don't have to be creative to be innovative. You've just got to see a lot of things. And I apologise, I'm not the most innovative person in the room. Computer industry, and we heard from the data storage people. We all know the exponential growth that's happening in the computer industry. It's well known, it doubles every 18 months. Lots of other industries are the same. When you look at the theory, there are exponential change industries, there are linear change industries, and I'll guarantee you that all your industries in this room fit between the 2 of them somewhere. The secret of change is not how steep the curve is. The secret is when you start. Because it's really not scary down the front here, is it? 0, 1, 2, 3, that's not scary. If you want to jump on the curve at 8, 9 or 10, it's seriously scary. The secret about innovation is when, first rule of innovation, because I said there was 4, the first rule of innovation is when you start. How many people here ride bikes? It's a very popular thing at the moment, isn't it? When you're riding a bike, I ride a bike, and you suddenly realise that there's a guy up ahead of you half a kilometre or so. It's really hard to catch him, isn't it? He may not be going that much faster than you. You've got to go a hell of a lot faster to catch up because essentially he started before you did. Secret to innovation is when you start. This is Mr. Apple, and my talk is work different. They came up with the slogan, think different. This is their share price since when Steve Jobs came back in 1996. You can see that it was exponential share price. Unfortunately, I had 3 children at school, so I didn't buy any shares. If you had, you would have gone from $50 to over $700. That's great success. What's the secret of his success? He started in 1996. And he was a seriously smart person. It wasn't an overnight success. Have a look what happened for the first 10 years. It was pretty flat. Have a look at the consistency of the guy from 1998 to 2010. Consistent drive over a long period delivers breakthrough results. Not, oh, I'm not going to innovate today, but I'll innovate tomorrow and come up with something wow the next day. It doesn't happen. Breakthrough innovation, and then yes, he did succeed to become the biggest company in the world. It took a time. I don't really want you to be more an innovative company. I want you to be a successful company. And innovation's a tool. Whatever strategy you've got, I want to help you achieve your strategy. Your strategy is not to be innovative. Your strategy is to be successful. Here are the goals of innovation. Everyone in this room has the same goals. Current outcomes, different outcomes. Current stakeholders or customers, different stakeholders or customers. Do you want to get better, broader, bigger or bolder? You have to decide that. And you have to work out what you want to do. My suggestion to you, though, is that, and this is a slightly busy slide, but just go with the flow. If you're a getting better, broader, bigger sort of person, it's all about productivity. And you know the Prime Minister's on all about productivity at the moment. It's a great thing. Get everyone in your business, train them, focus on what you're doing, build your bottom line, really attack this from this way. Or you could be a very radical sort of person, use external expertise, be very focused, etc., and become bolder, bigger and broader. And yes, this is just a picture and go with the flow. There are 2 approaches to innovation. There's the little approach or the big approach. There's the productivity, bottom-up, are we doing things right approach? Or there is the growth, top-down, disruptive, are we doing the right thing approach? And these are all the different words you can see in all the different business books. Which one's right? Correct. Lesson number 2, a balanced approach to your success is the way to drive it. Focusing on lots and lots of little things is just as important as focusing on big things. 2 examples. Steve Jobs came back to Apple in 1996. The very first thing he did was hire Tim Cook. Tim Cook was the guy that focused on all the little things. In 1996, it took him 2 months to make a Mac. In 2006, it took them 2 days to make a Mac. And that's what Tim Cook did. He made Apple the most profitable company in the world. Steve Jobs made it the biggest company in the world. They had a balanced strategy and nobody saw it until Tim Cook came out from the shadows. As a managing director or leader of your enterprise, get just as excited when somebody saves you $100 a week by doing something different as if a salesman sells $1,000 a month, or 10,000 or 20,000. Thinking small and thinking big. Remember the Australian song? From little things, big things. Apple versus Microsoft. These are the Apple shares, and you've seen it before. There they are. Wow. Look what happened to Microsoft over the same period. Nothing. This is what Microsoft spend on R&D. Here it is here. This is what Apple spend on R&D. So Apple spend 1/3 of what Microsoft spent on R&D over the same period and achieved a huge result. You can't buy innovation. In actual fact, innovation is not expensive. Don't sit here saying, holy dooly, this is going to cost me a fortune. Innovation of the best company in the world, you can't buy it. It's actually a low-cost way of changing your business. Rule number 3 is you don't need money to innovate. More creativity. When to innovate in a changing world is you have to start. You can't catch up to the bicycle rider that's a kilometre. Nobody can catch up to Apple or Microsoft. You can't catch up, but you've got to start. There's no point sitting at the table. You've got to start. Why enterprises need to innovate? They grow old, the world changes around them and you die. I heard today about 2 companies in industry that have gone out of business and the third company in industry go, hey, that's cool. If you want to look at it, the fastest growing retail store in the country at the moment is called the Co-op. It used to be the Co-op bookshop. People went to university, remember the Co-op bookshop? Right? It's been around for 50 years. They've totally reinvented themselves. Go have a look. They grew last year by 25% and they're a 50-year-old company. Where to innovate? You only innovate because you have a strategy to do something. Innovation is a servant of strategy, and please start small. How to innovate? My personal recommendation is don't invent stuff. Copy, borrow, transfer, buy another company, do something else. Don't invent stuff. It is just plain hard. And I know the government wants startups and entrepreneurs. Let the entrepreneurs be the entrepreneurs. If you're in an established business, borrow, partner, collaborate. The third tool of innovation is collaboration. I don't care how smart you are as an individual. You ain't as smart as all of us. Collaboration is far more important than how smart you are or how creative you are. If you've got a problem, don't dare sit at your desk, pull a bit of paper out and try to solve it. If you've got a problem, talk to somebody. Ring somebody up. What to innovate? Probably not your product. And most products are pretty standard. Has Coca-Cola been the same thing since about 1903? Yep. Yet it's one of the biggest, best-known companies in the world more than a century later. Have they innovated Coke itself? Yeah, they took the cocaine out of it, which was a bit of a bummer, wasn't it? All right? But it's not about your product. It's about your service. It's about your customers, about how you get to market, how you sell your product. And who innovates? The secret is only the managing director can innovate because they've got the money to spend to implement the ideas. The secret is, where do the ideas come from? And as a managing director or a CEO, I would probably suggest you're not a really creative dude. You're pretty boring probably, and you run a pretty successful business and you know how to count the numbers, and I congratulate you. Get other people to create the ideas. Talk to your customers. Get people working on it. What I'm on about is what I call change. And change is what you guys have to do. And how you change is it's all about the people and the change. And we've actually spent the last 5 years with the Department of Education, with a whole bunch of people, turning everything that I've said to you in a program called the Innovation Recognition Program. We have brochures here. Now, this is an absolute plug, but I'm up here and you're down there, so I'm allowed to do it. What it's about is the whole thing is about people-driven innovation. It's about how you improve your business little steps at a time by using your people, your suppliers' people, to do it. It's not about startups, entrepreneurs. It's not about government funding. It's not about putting in grant applications. It's about you guys getting off your backsides and saying, hey, let's do something for our own business, because the only people that can save your business is you.
Wonderful. Right. Thanks, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Allan. Amazing insight. And I don't know about you guys, but I wrote about a page of notes there. Just tons of tiny little gems, and any one of them would just make the most amazing difference to the business.